New this morning, a federal judge has extended a temporary ruling that blocks federal agents at Portland's ICE facility from using tear gas and other crowd control tactics. Fox 12's Leah Kamana is joining us in studio with details. Good morning, Leah.
Good morning, Kim. The order that initially went into effect on Tuesday, February 3rd was good for 2 weeks, which meant it would have expired yesterday. But now with this extension, it will be in place for another 2 weeks, taking us to March 4th, or until the court makes a more permanent decision in a hearing set for March 2nd. The order specifically blocks federal agents from using tools like tear gas, pepper balls, and rubber bullets against protesters unless they are directly threatening officers. The order also stops agents from shooting anything at people's heads, necks, or torsos unless it's a situation where they would need to use deadly force. Well, this followed claims from protesters that agents at the ICE building were using tear gas without warning and damaging the homes of people who live nearby. Meanwhile, the Trump administration argues the use of force is necessary because it claims people it calls rioters and terrorists are assaulting officers and vandalizing federal property. Governor Tina Kotek and Portland Mayor Keith Wilson issued a joint statement in support of this extension, saying in part, quote, "The ongoing actions of federal agents undermine constitutional rights, erode public trust, and escalate tensions in our communities rather than protect public safety." Adding, "We will continue to speak out, pursue every legal avenue available, and defend the rights and safety of people in Oregon." Court documents show the U.S. Department of Homeland Security argued that the order should not be extended, but the judge ultimately decided the temporary ban should stay in place until the court can look at the evidence and make a more permanent decision. And again, that evidentiary hearing is set for Monday, March 2nd. Reporting in studio, Leah Kamana, Good Day, Oregon.